When deciding which career to pursue, I think it is a mistake to purely look at what opportunities are available and where the most money could be made. But really one should look at your calling from God and your design that in the way that you have been put together and how that speaks to the needs of the world. And for me, when I decided to become a teacher back when I was 17 years old, I already had a desire to impact people and to influence people. I had a love for communication, I had a love for sport, and I enjoyed academics. And for me to decide to become a teacher was really actually an easy decision, even though it's not the most lucrative path, even though it's not the most sought after or highly esteemed career. It was an easy decision for me because I could see how God's calling and His design for my life meets the needs of society around me. And following that call from the Lord and being obedient to Him and seeking Him in deciding which career to do, I think is also a really important point. And I've said to people before, it's now 20 years on, and there has not been one day that I've thought I made a mistake to become a teacher. When I've been teaching at Paul Roos for 10 years, through a variety of circumstances, the Lord led us to start up a new school, a low-fee school for boys from low-income communities and provide them with a high-quality education. I had to make the decision to walk away from a promising and a secure position at Paul Roos. And it was a big decision to make. My wife was pregnant with our second child, and there was no guarantee that our model that we hoped to employ would be successful. There was no guarantee that there would be financial provision for this venture. And to walk away from that was definitely a sacrifice of the secure and the known and the predictable, to follow the Lord's call into the unknown. But that's not something one should just do at a whim. It's really something that you should run past mentors and friends and fellow followers of the Lord who can guide you and give you the right perspectives to make a decision like that. So for me to give up a secure and a predictable position at a highly sought after school to start up a school for low income learners with no proof that it was going to work was in the end a risky decision, but not a difficult one, because we took it as a community. It was a community decision, and in the end, 3 years later, we are now looking back and we can just honor the Lord for what has taken place over the past 3 years. With the organization that we started, Calling Education, our hope is to develop the most relevant model of providing high-quality education to learners from low-income communities. So firstly, we are developing in our current school, Calling Academy, a blueprint for how this could be done financially, how it could be done spiritually, socially, academically, and we are making our mistakes and discovering more about our own model as we go. Our dream is that this then should become a blueprint, or at least a point of reference for future campuses, future schools, that Calling Education can also start and manage, or even for other individuals or people in other places who would like to say, but there's a similar need where we are, and it has been done at Calling Education. Let's go and see what we can learn from their model and implement. So our idea would be that Calling Education becomes, in a way, an incubator eventually of providing high quality education to learners from low income areas. We would like to one day look back at this venture and the years we spent and the years we poured into this venture, to be able to say that the Lord has used it as a redemptive venture where He has brought people and systems and brokenness of education system and brokenness of lives, that He has somehow brought that back to Himself and brought reconciliation and healing to our country and to our systems and the individuals through the years that we spent being obedient to Him.